Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Power Hour. Today I'm joined by my bro Chris Peters, as well as Cedric Wilson and Fran Richardson. How are you guys doing tonight?
Hi, everybody. Good to be with you tonight again.
Hello.
So today we're having a little smaller audience than usual, but it's going to be a great discussion regardless. And we're talking about how do you define success as an entrepreneur? A lot of people claim to be entrepreneurs, and a lot of people say they want to be successful. But what does that really mean? Success from one person to another can be completely different. Like for me, it's not just making a ton of money. It's creating a ton of new friends, changing something, and actually making a movement in the world. But I'd like to hear how you guys define success as an entrepreneur and what it means to you.
I think, Kareem, it starts out with being a personal goal that you might have set for yourself when you first started out. And I'm always changing goals. Not that I don't strive to each one, but if you meet one, there's always another one after you get there. That if you stop, you stagnate, you're not going to go anywhere. So kind of like an actor. They make one movie and they're known for that movie. If they don't make another one or make an appearance on a guest show, host show, their name's going to be forgotten. So you've got to set new goals to meet new people, to reach out and meet different audiences in order to generate an interest or share your passion. It might not be somebody else's passion, but then, if somebody's not interested in online entrepreneurship, maybe they want to be the best pizza parlor going. And they need your talent because they don't know how to reach the local online audience. Not everybody reads a paper. I have my days where I feel like I'm chained to this computer. Or I go to sleep and I find that I'm working in my sleep because there's a lot of people that I didn't contact that day that I wanted to contact. And then I wake up saying, why am I still sleepy? Because you're working in your sleep.
Yeah, that'll do it. For me, actually, when I just learned how to create a small WordPress website, and a lot of people will say, well, how much did it make you? Did it get you this? Did you get a lot of this? No, actually, I didn't. I had trouble making $1 on AdSense, which is funny, even though it was like blogging consistently. But it taught me so many skills that I started to understand WordPress, and I was like, okay, I can build something even better now. And I started looking at ThemeForest and working with my friend Andrew Dishes. And then I realized I could create very good websites after a while. And as far as success goes, just learning that skill, while it actually cost me money to learn it, I didn't necessarily profit a ton from it, but it gave me the ability to help a lot more people like you, Francis, like myself, like other people who just needed a way to get their pizza parlor business or their whatever business they were running, their small MMM or their MLM or whatever it is. And then I could really feel happy about that I was able to help something with that I thought was so small, yet helps them so much. So it's really just those little skills and those little victories when you're helping others that really do make a difference, even more so than if they paid me. Just having them saying, you did a great job, and it's someone you've never met in person. What do you think, Cedric?
Well, I always go back to there was a tape. It was about half an hour long. I used to listen to it quite a bit. It was by Earl Nightingale.
I got his tapes from Francis.
Right, and Nightingale Conant, and he talked about the stranger's secret, and he also talked about success, and he said success is a progressive realization of a worthy idea.
Nice.
So that means that what is a success for me might not as well be a success for you. It could be.
I'm sorry, I heard a background noise.
Whoa.
Sounds like a jet coming in.
Yeah, I did.
I don't know what that would have been from.
Oh, okay. I think that might have been a fan. Anyway, as you were saying about Earl.
Right, and he said success is a progressive realization of a worthy idea or goal. And so what's successful for one person might not be successful for the other person. But if you have an idea, or if you have a certain goal or something that you're working toward, and you're learning little by little, I think the world today tries to put success into a
box,
into some kind of finite object,
uh-huh.
which it's not, because and then one day you've just finally arrived at success. You know, you might struggle all your life, and then all of a sudden there's success. But the success actually started from day one, when a person is starting to work toward that goal or that realization, you know, that idea or that goal. And once you reach it, I think back on, there was a kung fu master, and for years, I think of 20 years or so, he studied martial arts, kung fu, and he got to the point where he was considered a master. And then when he became that master, when they said, now what are you going to do now that you are a master? Then he said, now it's time for me to start the learning. So, you know, at certain points, I believe even at the beginning, you're a success anytime you start to working towards something, and throughout your whole journey to get there. And once you get to that place, you can add more things onto it. You know, it's like a buffet, that perfect plate, you know. So that's basically all I have to say about that.
You know, that's profound wisdom, because a lot of people will say success, I've arrived. Well, how did you arrive? Well, I made this much, I got this much, the car, the house, all this stuff. But to me, success is a continuous process.
Well, where did they start from to get where they're at?
That's true. But to me, let's say, I get, 25,000 subscribers for the Power Hour. I say, okay, excited, yay. And then I say, okay, how do I get 100? How do I get 1 million? How do I keep growing this? How do I unite more entrepreneurs? Okay, we've united all the entrepreneurs. How do we end world hunger? How do we end disease? How do we end? To me, success, I don't know. How far does it go?
I don't think it stops. I think that when you have your sights set on something and you achieve whatever goal you have to start with, then once you achieve that goal, you're like, oh, there's so much more I could achieve. So you keep setting goals, and it's a continuation of something else.
Don't you think that achieving the first goal is motivation for setting a new one?
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think that goals actually change. I believe they become more and more defined. They become clearer and clearer once you start to working toward them.
That's a good perspective, Cedric. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think that when you set a goal, you have an idea in mind of what you'd like to achieve, and then what that will lead to. But sometimes you achieve that goal and you say, is that all there is? Is that it? And that's happened with me many times, like with physical fitness or with work or with just this. Like I'll achieve a certain goal. I'll be super happy about it, and I'll think, is that all there is? I really want more. And me wanting that little bit extra each time helps elevate the goal.
Exactly.
I just wanted people consistently, on the panel when we started. And I really have to thank you guys. And now they got it. How can we get other people interested? How can we really unite the world's entrepreneurs and make this a place where people can come and freely speak their mind? How can we get this movement out there? And I just work a little bit every day, and I just keep going little by little, and it never stops. It's never going to.
Well, I think the icon of you and Chris in the background with the Power Hour, that is, if I see that, I think, yes, that's a Power Hour for me. And that's a safe haven. It just speaks so many volumes of things to anybody that's been here. That you're going to be iconed, not Chris and Kareem, but somebody's going to see you out one day and say, oh, you're the Power Hour guy.
Yep.
And you're going to be recognized as the Power Hour.
Yeah.
I'm already ducking paparazzi.
It's already ducking paparazzi scum.
Paparazzi.
Maybe I'll have to hide it for a while.
Paparazzi, but paparazzi.
Yeah, they'll come with cameras. So how did it start? I don't know. Can you leave? I'm trying to eat. No, get that camera out of my face, please.
Yeah.
But eventually, I would like people to look at this or Chris's background or the pictures we post and say, whoa, that started a revolution like Nike, like Coca-Cola, like Microsoft, like Facebook, like anything else people use, people are accustomed to in their homes.
Well, and I've had people that have been here with me from time to time that I'm talking to either one of you or on the Power Hour, and I'll be doing a ad or something that I'm putting up on my social media that day. Oh, those are the Power Hour guys. Yeah, I remember you talking to them the other day.
Mm-hmm. And I think every little thing you do can make people realize that you're working to something bigger. Like when you see that little picture, or you go to a hangout, or you hear an interview, or you're just out and about with your friends. It's like, oh, there's the Power Hour people. There's the Power Hour people. Mm-hmm. And eventually one day you're up on a bill, and then people will say, those are the Power Hour people. Remember when we were having a hard time, or the economy or people were wondering what they were going to do when the job market weren't working, and then Kareem and Chris got people together and figured out a way, and we decided we could do it ourselves, over some mics and some cameras and some posters in people's bedrooms and living room. We figured out some solutions to change the world. And obviously, it doesn't happen overnight.
It's happening. It's here. It's now. It's only going to get bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when you started, how long has it been now? 5 months?
No, it's been almost a year.
God, time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, no, it's been about 1 year.
No, our first show was at the end of April, so it's been 11 months, practically.
It really has been.
Yeah.
Although I'd like to say in 11 months, we got 100,000 views and like 2,000 some subs. So, well, some people are like, well, that's not a lot for somebody who's like really, really big on YouTube, but that is a lot for somebody who's just starting out.
Yep, it is. It is a lot. I just think that we gotta just keep going, and people gotta understand why we're here, gravitate towards us, you know.
And yeah, that just comes with time and people telling other people. I think one of the biggest successes I saw with the Power Hour is people were actually sharing our stuff without. When I was doing other things, nobody was sharing my stuff. People were saying good luck, have fun with that. And I said, I was going to work something, but I wasn't really passionate about it. But when I came here and I started doing this with you, people started sharing our stuff and saying I was on here and I had a great time.
I think that's the biggest thing, is people having a good time here and understanding that they have a place to come and be.
Well, this is it. I mean, I remember back when you all were broadcasting from your car, from outside your house, like remotely, and it's just so much more focused and pulled together and more professional now.
Mm-hmm.
But you had to plant a seed somewhere to grow the tree, to branch out, to reach the kind of audience that you got now.
Well, I mean, our audience has just begun. I mean, we wanna hit 1 million subscribers at least.
Oh, it's going to branch out further, but I'm saying you come a long way, baby.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I mean, we can say, like, I talk to people at TED Talks, and I'm like, I don't know if they're going to know this is a new thing. I talk to them on the phone. They're like, yeah, hang out. And I got, like, Tibetan yogis on here. I'm like, what? Really? And I have to sometimes look back and say, is this real life? And it's interesting.
Yeah.
The people you meet.
I'll have to get on some of those TED Talks or email some of those guys. Put me in touch with some of their channels, and I'll see if they want to. I mean, I got a CEO from Wiseware who's been joining us regularly, and he's, he likes coming here, Jerry. Ivan Vantagiato is another pretty big guy on Instagram, and he's always traveling. So, I mean, we've made a lot of connections with different people, and we're going to keep branching out. So that's what I want to do.
I think it's all about making that connection. That's really what success is, making connections with people who have like-minded ideals and then working together with them to do something greater than yourself. So it's no more complicated than that. Do you guys agree?
Agree 100%.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kareem.
I think it comes down to if we get like a little bit depressing here, if someone were to say, okay, Kareem, it's your last day, what have you accomplished, and what were all the things you could say that look back and say you're proud of that you contributed to humanity? And I'd like to be able to say, at least success-wise, that Chris created a huge movement that involved millions of billions of people actually waking up and creating a life they can be proud of.
Pick up the reins and keep going once we're not here anymore.
No, I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Oh. Well, I continued on for you.
But yeah, no, it's just that simple. Just get your buddies together and do something great in the world. Even if other people don't see it, even if other people think you're crazy, even if other people tell you it just won't work. And you climb that mountain every day and people tell you you can't get success and you just keep climbing. It's just like when people told me you can't make any money on YouTube, or you can't do the power hour or whatever it is. It's as simple as that. So what success what online, you guys, and this could be Chris, Francis, Cedric, have you helped people would you actually say is like a big success for you? If I were to like look now and say, out of all the highlights of your online career, helping other people and connecting with other people, what are some powerful memories you have?
Go ahead, gentlemen. Don't stand on formality.
I've met a lot of people at events offline, and continued throughout communicating with them online. So really haven't much of a movement with it, but internet. There's so many different ways you can take the internet and do so many different things with it. Because I look at all the different marketers out there and the kind of marketers. You have social media, content native social media marketing, which is the big thing now. Then you have people that pay-per-click marketing, people that what do you call it? CPC. I've done
cost per click or whatever.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of everything. No, cost per action, where you collect emails, addresses, and the other companies pay you for it.
Oh, okay.
So, cost per acquisition or something like that.
Yeah, no, I can't say I've done that yet, but I've heard of it.
Right. So I've met a lot of people that was doing a lot of different things online, and for me it's really easy to get caught up if you're not focused in a lot of different things online.
Oh yeah, I have that problem myself where I would be, I'm going to join this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to run over here, I'm going to try, and eventually I'm like, I can't do the power hour Fiverr, pay me what I'm worth, this. So, I mean, I try and do a little bit of everything, but I try and also get back down and see what's your priority online? What are you actually trying to do? And that kind of helps make you grounded, so you're not like, ooh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to run over here and, do this.
Right. Yeah. My primary thing is relationship marketing, and
that's a good one.
Helping people find answers to their problems. Basically, it for me myself. I wish I could do it a lot more and more efficiently, but
I think as long as you like doing it, like I could probably do different things a lot more efficiently too. But the fact that you get up and do it regardless, even if it's not perfect, I mean, I could think of 100, things I could do here. Like there's some business marketers out there that'll be like, you have to do SEO and PPC and SEM, and you got to have a blog and Facebook page and Twitter and a Google and this and products and then a front end and a back end and a sale. I'm like, okay, stop. You need, and really this is my opinion, a good product or service and some people who are interested and a way to promote it. That's really it. It's just like offline. You need something that somebody wants, has a need for, and you need a way to get people to there.
Right.
And if you can get people, if you can get the horse to the water, you can create something in your own vision of success that works for you offline or online. It's all about finding what does Francis need? What does Cedric want to learn? What does Chris want to find?
You have to learn to broaden your circuit, I guess you would say, so that while you're traveling through your week or your day, you meet new people and you need to learn how to pull out of them what it is they do need. And whether you have that particular talent, you have a broad enough scope of people in your little black bag that you can say, oh, you need to meet Cedric. He is excellent when it comes to introducing you and making a breakthrough in the social networking scene. That's your man. He can go take you by the hand and show him how it's done.
And that's essentially the idea of the power hour. I mean, I don't have, obviously, I have some things I'm good at, some things I'm bad at, and some things I'd like to learn. But nobody here is a master at everything. But when you get somebody who's good at one thing and you can connect them with somebody else, if you can network people with different talents, it's going to be amazing what you will be able to create.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that the more people we have on here from different entrepreneurial backgrounds, the more valuable our content's going to get. It's going to be able to expand beyond just what we're doing now, I think. So that's why we're going to have brainstorming at the end of each show for the topic that people, we want to brainstorm different topics that people would like to see us cover rather than just me and Kareem coming up with them. We want everybody's input. I think that's pretty important too, that we give people that option to contribute to what they want to see us talk about or what they would like us to talk about.
Yeah, success is definitely, again, a team effort. And that's one thing maybe the media or other outlets don't tell you, which is kind of funny. And I think this will be portrayed, and I want to ask you guys, a lot of issues I have with the media is when something new comes out or when someone achieves something, they make it look like one person invented something, like Bill Gates invented Microsoft, or Kareem or Chris invented the Power Hour, or so-and-so invented. When in reality, it took a lot of workers, it took a lot of dedicated people, it took a lot of other people's help, and it took a lot of people maybe even working for free for a long time, or even more, working for free and giving up their own time and money to see a dream happen, not knowing if it was going to work. And I was going to ask maybe you guys, as some people who help work with you or sacrifice some time to actually create the success you've had so far. It can be either online buddy or offline buddy, but if you want to share a story about that.
I think when me and you met, it was really interesting. And I think that when we started hanging out a couple of years ago, I think we always knew that we were destined for something else.
Yeah.
And I didn't really feel like we fit into the stuff we were trying to do together. Like, the mentoring for free and It Works was kind of like, I don't know, it just felt like we were building someone else's business and we were branding someone else, and we didn't really have our own voice like we do now.
Yeah.
And then we came up with this whole idea of doing a YouTube show. And I said, well, Kareem, let's call it the Entrepreneur Power Hour. And he was like, that's brilliant. And I said, well, we want to unite entrepreneurs. We want to bring people from all walks of life onto the show. So that's why we came up with that idea. And that's how I met Kareem.
Well, and the seed was planted, guys.
Yeah. Bruce is here.
Bruce.
Hey, Bruce. Hi. How are you, son?
Welcome.
Yeah, I'm good.
Good.
It's Bruce. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah.
So tonight we're talking about your own personal definition of success and what it means to you. So Bruce, why don't you tell us what success means to you. How do you define it?
I don't know. I made it. I don't define it.
Okay, well, how did you make it?
I don't know. I managed to retire 5 years early.
There
That
you
was
go.
success.
How'd you do that?
Ah,
What was the process?
covered my wage, so I didn't have to work anymore.
Nice. Now, what started you on that path?
I don't know. My wife said, "Oh, we're doing good. You could probably retire next year." So next year was, of course, 5 years after that. But it just sort of gave me the idea that I could retire if I could, cover my wage. So now I make the same amount as I did when I was working, and all I do is market with you guys.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, what got you into wanting to be entrepreneurial, Bruce? I mean, how did that all start? Was that at a young age you decided you wanted to define your own success and
Yeah,
create
I think so.
your own thing and do your own thing? How soon did that start in your life, Bruce?
As far back as I can remember, I always thought if I ever had a chance to rise up and do something to get, to make it, I was going to do it. And I worked offline. I worked 16 to 20-hour days for 20 years.
Yeesh. Did you ever sleep?
Yeah, in between.
Doesn't leave you a lot of time for sleep.
No, and I didn't do that every day of the week, but
Oh, good God, no, you'd be in the hospital.
but a lot of days, and when I was at work, people used to say how lucky I was, "Oh, you made it, you're doing good, how lucky that is." I says, "Yeah, but I don't find any luck there. It's all directly related to the 16-hour shifts."
There.
What, Francis?
It was all directly related to the work and the hours that he put in to get there.
That's right. Success is no accident. It's only achieved through constant effort.
Destination.
Yep. It's a journey and a destination all rolled into one. And
Now
I
I'm
know.
going to make it online.
Hey?
Now I'm going to make it online.
Well, good. We'll help you. That's the point of this. And I think that when we came up with the Entrepreneur Power Hour, it was a melding of the minds between me and Kareem and Marcia. And it was an idea that I had had in the back of my head for a long time because I was never scared of getting in front of the camera. And I thought to myself, I wanted to create something where we can have people who are going the same way. They don't have to be in the same opportunity, or they could be doing whatever they want. But if they have that spirit of independence and entrepreneurialism, and they want to inspire people to get off the treadmill and be their own boss and own their life, then that's the value we wanted to provide. Because when we were doing what we were doing, I didn't feel like I wasn't fulfilled, Kareem. Were you? When we were doing that other stuff, I didn't really feel fulfilled.
Neither did I, because I felt like I was trying to work at somebody else's dream and someone else's goal. And the whole problem with that is there's a part of you, no matter what you achieve under someone else, there's a part of you, especially if you're an entrepreneur, that says, I want to create my own thing. It doesn't have to be as successful. It doesn't even have to be the same idea, but I just wanted to have my own way of expressing myself. I'm sure Chris did. It just so happened we met at that time and started working on this together. It's been fun ever since, and there's good and bad days, there's roller coasters, but I know with him, he's my bro, and we're going to make it together, and we're going to take along all you guys with us. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to be definitely a learning experience. It's not come easy, but then if it come easy, it wouldn't really be worth it.
I agree. Yeah, it's been a long time. We've only been doing this for 11 months.
Yeah, literally.
So, we've had some really good, cool people on here. I'm dressing up, which I never thought I would do. We got backgrounds. I mean, it's, and I'm not making videos outside at like 12 o'clock at night anymore because I'm sleeping at night. I mean, but at the same time, I felt like doing those videos, even though I was wearing all my normal stuff. It's like, I'm going to reach the right people, hopefully. And I hope people look back on some of those videos and get something from them. And I still would
Talk to the monitor, Chris.
What?
Look up and show your bright blue eyes and talk to the monitor instead of your belly button and contemplating the mysteries of the world.
Yeah, that's what I do. I do that a lot.
Hey, Mr. Belly Button.
There's a smile I like to see.
Mm-hmm.
You just reach through the monitor and push those little cheeks.
Oh, wonderful. Mm-hmm.
Virtual grandma.
Yeah, virtual
Come
grandma.
here, boy.
Oh, well, you've come a long way, guys, and I'm so proud of both of you and the initiation of a concept that you took it and ran with it, and you've arrived.
Yeah.
You're
Yes.
here now, and you're going places from here.
And in about, I want to say 2 months. I'm looking at, okay, 2-3 months, give or take, we'll have a life coaching thingy, and we could take you guys, and you guys can become life coaches. Yay!
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
we're got a lot of stuff going on in the next 9
And
months.
even though I lost one speech competition, I won one, so I can compete at the division level and maybe international if I win that one.
Wow.
Awesome! Yay!
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Holy crap.
Actually, if I compete internationally, I could just bring up at one point, because they interview you, they say like, oh, Kareem, tell us a little bit about blah, blah, blah. And I could say, oh, yeah, I'm Kareem this. By the way, Entrepreneur Power Hour, YouTube, check it out. There's like 1 million people there. And they're like, he seems like a cool dude.
That's good. I wonder, I should figure out how to get into that public speaking thing because I think I'd be good at it too.
Okay.
And I've got a lot to say about many different things. So, I feel like some people might be able to benefit from some of my knowledge and experience with life. But I don't know. I'll have to get your help with that because I need to learn how to do a speech without using filler words. And
No, you can use, you can use filler words. I get in trouble. Actually, I got a grammarian saying, Kareem, you starting sentences with and or so. You don't get in trouble for it. They just mention it and say, the grammarian, what did you catch? Oh, you had this many ums, this many O's, so I got rid of that. It's not difficult, though. It's fun.
No, it wouldn't be difficult at all. That's why I want to do it.
I thought you said, when you were saying filler words, I thought you were saying 4-letter words.
4-letter words.
Oh, I do know.
Words, oh!
A couple bloopers.
I know a lot of 4-letter words, Cedric.
Whoa, hey, let's keep it PG-13.
I'm not saying nothing.
I know one that, you mean
This isn't Walt Disney.
I know fire truck.
A fire truck is not a 4-letter word. It may be a combination of 2 4-letter words, but no. Fire is F-R-I-R-E, that's 4, and truck is T-R-U-C-K. No, that's 5.
I know. I'll tell you the joke after we're done. It's the whole, what word starts with F and ends in,
Uh-huh.
See, I could be successful as a stand-up comedian too.
Yeah, maybe. I should be doing that.
Well, if somebody told me 8 months ago that I would have any luck or concept of talking on camera or doing a video, I would have said yeah, and then you woke up.
Yeah, well, now look at you, Francis.
And now when I say every week, here I am, and I'm among friends, and I'm
I'm on camera.
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
Camera, and I'm doing my own videos.
Wow. We'll have to share those, Francis.
Yeah, you got to get them out on FB. So
And we should be putting some of we should be promoting our panelists on our website too, Kareem. I think that's a good idea.
I like that.
Very good idea. Yes, absolutely.
And include you guys in blog posts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And one thing I think that's awesome, Francis, is that you're showing other people who are afraid, like, and this gets me. There are people who will work with me on Fiverr or something. I'll say, "Oh, come on the show. You know, it's fun." They're like, "Well, I don't know about this whole being on camera thing."
Oh,
I'm like, what?
Tell them you have a 66-year-old great grandma with gray hair that's in a wheelchair that's on this show
that hits on us constantly.
And they're more than welcome. I'll be here to welcome them in and give them the official Entrepreneur Power Hour family. Come on in and sit down and talk a spell.
Exactly. And one interesting thing about success is that, like I've said before, there's a very few, even though, like, okay, I'm not gonna say we're anything quite big yet, or I'm necessarily got the show to where I want to be, but at least we're getting out there and trying. We're getting on the camera and we're speaking our mind. We're showing the world that it can be done. And all you have to do, in my opinion, to succeed, really, to start, is just try. If you're trying, the whole group of people who aren't, which there's a lot of them, you know, we're one step ahead of everybody else who's like, I can't get on camera. Like, well, what's going to happen if you get on camera, you're going to melt? I think it would have happened to me by now. And I was afraid of making YouTube videos initially when I was like 18, when this came out. I'm like, no one will have to what I say. No one will want to watch me play video games. Nobody will want to watch me play guitar. They'll make fun of me. I'll get trolled, blah, blah. Long list of excuses. They didn't matter. I should have done it. Anyway, and the funny thing is, if you will just go that extra mile and turn on your camera and talk to it, you could reach 1 million people, and you never know who you could help or who you could inspire or who you could at the very least entertain. And you never know what opportunities will come out of that. And and I'm not saying you have to go make a video, but you just have to try to succeed. It's like that old saying, you don't have to be great to show up, but you have to show up to be great. And that's what I want to thank you guys for, just showing up, being able to be on camera, being able to speak your mind and give everybody else the power who might be either shy or confused, or they just don't understand why anybody would make a video. There's got to be some old school people out there that are still, or even I've met younger people who are just still afraid of the camera. I don't quite get it. There's a lot scarier things than a camera.
Well, I'm just tickled pink that I'm on a camera, that I've lost a lot of skeletons in the closet as far as my competence.
Good.
And I picked up a lot of other things vicariously, I guess you would say, by watching Kareem design a logo or a banner. And I'm thinking, he's a normal guy. That's Kareem. I know him. And he can do it.
I pretend to be a normal guy. I'm good.
I just use the term loosely. Just joking, but I see other people that I consider everyday down-home folks, that are extraordinary in their talents. And I think, well, if they can do it, I won't even try to do it other than to see if I could design a banner or if I could design a logo.
It's honestly,
but just to have the nerve to go try it, you know,
that's all you need
from other people. You say, well, if they can do it, why can't I?
Yeah, I think the majority, and I have friends and people like this. Well, they start to annoy me when they're my friends and they do this. They'll say, Kareem, I want to know how to do this. I want to learn this. I say, well, you have Google, look it up. And they'll say, can you look it up for me? And I just want to, like, you know, face palm.
Well, why
print out,
should
bang, head here.
for them?
No, I shouldn't. And honestly, that's the whole reason they're not learning or doing. If you'll just take the time to Google something and to watch a video or a couple videos on something, if you'll just that 3-letter try, I know Yoda said the do or do not, but honestly, if you'll just try, just go on there. I want to learn how to make, you know, videos or professional. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have they didn't teach me that in college. They didn't teach me WordPress in college. I just sat down one day and said, you know, it'd be cool to make videos. It'd be cool to make a logo. It'd be cool to make a website. Or I'd see my friends doing it, and I'm like, hey, you know, don't want to bug you or nothing, but how did you make that? What site? And they're like, oh, yeah, you just go over here, and then you put little things in your tool bag, and you just sit there and try. Like, a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Chris told me, well, Fran, you just go to Screencast-O-Matic and there's other softwares and see which one's the easiest one for you to use. And I made my first 2-minute video, and you thought I made Gone with the Wind.
Yeah. You could put the theme in there, but yeah, I've seen your videos, and that's the awesome thing. That's the best feeling in the world, or at least one of them next to playing live, I would say. The next best feeling of playing live or like falling in love is just figuring out something. You're like, man, this is so impossible. I will never figure this out. I don't know how these people are magicians. And then you just,
those aha moments.
And you just sit there and try a little bit. And that's my definition of success. My definition is not necessarily being the best logo creator on Fiverr. It's the fact that I pulled up Canva one day and said, I'm going to have at it. Woohoo, fun time. And I just said, oh, what does this do? And if I pull this over here, and if I stretch this out and put a little thing here, and then I had one person, I was a little bit nervous. I'm like, I'm not a logo creator. And then Sam, if you know her from the Mastering Mind Collective, got her friend Donna one day, and she said, you know, graphic design. I said, not really. She said, I have a friend, just wants a simple logo. And I felt bad just saying no. She said, you know, I'll give you a little something for it. So I was honoring my worth there. And I was kind of nervous. I'm like, I don't know how this is going to turn out. Are they going to like this? So I sat there and I showed her some designs. I'm like, I can do this, 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 and this. What do you think? And she said, okay, you know, I'm not too picky. I just want something that'll fit my Facebook post. And I said, okay. And I goofed around with Canva for a little bit. I wasn't sure I was going to succeed at this. I was actually worried I wouldn't. And I'd have someone saying, well, I'll go elsewhere. I took about 45 minutes at work, which I hope my employer doesn't see this. They're like, why are you goofing off? But I took about like 45 minutes of work in between, sent her a Canva and said, I really like that, how much? And then, you know, we figured out a price and everything. But then I said, okay, maybe I can help Fran out with a logo, wants a logo. And then now I'm excited to, you know, help Mr. Bruce. And that's how it works. From a couple hours of trying something, a couple hours of digging around.
Well, and we discovered not only the logo, but then I had the whole banner we worked out the banner for the Entrepreneur Power Hour.
Yeah.
And I use it on my website. I use it everywhere. I put it up in Skype and use it in all my Skype chats.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And why I think that's a big success to me is because other people come to your house or come to Skype and say, I like that. And that feels better. That feels as good as getting paid. Having your nurse or your friend or people on Skype say, "Oh, friend, I like that design."
I've even used it for a screen. What do you call it? My screen cover.
Oh, yeah.
I have the Entrepreneur Power Hour as my
Screensaver?
screensaver. Thank you, Chris.
Oh, wow. It's going to be like a name home brand now, like Entrepreneur Power Hour shoes and T-shirts. But
Good.
but I guess that's my version of success, is just getting my idea out there so other people can enjoy it, and then inspiring them to do the same. Here's my own brand. You make your own brand. Show Nike what's up. That's really it, leaving your mark on the world.
Because I had the Entrepreneur Power Hour up as my screensaver, and I had 2 young girls stop by to see me. And they said, "Wow, Mama Fran, you kicking it with some hotties."
Right on.
I said, "What?" I said, "Oh, that's just Chris and Kareem."
Mom, you're kicking.
That's good. Hook me up.
And, well, I have that set as one of my goals, actually, Chris.
See, there you go. Fran, we should make you a WordPress website. You can hook people. If Fran's dating.
The matchmaker.
We date best for you.
It just one thing intertwines into the next, and
here,
what networking is, people, and that's what entrepreneurship is.
You can hook all your MMM friends up with a special someone. They'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
We'll just charge a monthly fee of $9.99.
It's been really interesting learning about myself and the people I come into contact with through doing this. And I faced a lot of adversity, a lot of situations that aren't favorable, but I'm starting to get the perspective that, through Pay Me What I'm Worth and everything we're doing, that it always leads to something better. It doesn't seem like that at the time. It doesn't feel like that at the time. But in the end, I think it always does, and I just have to remember that. And it's very hard to remember that when you're in the moment and you're not feeling the best, and you're not in that headspace that gets you excited and happy. You're in a headspace that's the opposite of that at some point, and it's hard to see the sun when there's clouds in front of your eyes at times.
But here's the interesting thing: if you didn't have cloud, I'm going to go give this argument. I don't know how much I believe in it, but if there weren't clouds, if there weren't some rainy days, you would never appreciate the sun.
That's true.
And the whole reason I say that is because if you didn't have to struggle for something, if you didn't really have to put in work, if I just turned on the camera one day and then we got 2 million views on YouTube within like a couple months, how much substance would that really have? I mean,
yeah.
I think the majority of people would just pull out their phones and be like, "Hey boss," and be like one dude working. He's like, "I really like my job. Where is everybody?" Oh, well, they pulled out their phones and became billionaires on YouTube. And if you didn't have to work for it, same with a relationship, same with, that first car, same with anything. If you didn't have to put some blood, sweat, and tears into something and then not realize that's the whole goal. I think that's God or the universe or whatever you believe saying, how bad do you really want this? Because the first thing's not going to work. The second thing's not going to work. The fifth thing's not going to work. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And the majority of people, I think that's what really is the breaking point of success. The majority of people walk away and say, it doesn't work. And I could have done that in so many areas. I could have said I'm bench pressing 90 pounds. You know, why not just give up? You know, everybody else is doing over 100. But I said, no, I'll stick with it. And I'm not a bodybuilder, but I got myself in decent shape. And it's just that whole determination of, I'm going to go a little bit more. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm going to go just a little bit more. I'm going to try. And I'm going to find a definition of success that resonates with me. And then you get there day by day. And one day you found you've got success, and then you say, is this all there is? And you keep building it up and building it up and building it up. That's what we're doing here. And that's what I like to see you guys doing, whatever else it is. So with that, it is 9 o'clock. I know we did start a little bit late.
What time did we start?
So would you all like to see, if you'd like to hang around afterwards, Bruce, I'll show you the desktop logo that I've got.
Bruce wants us to make him a banner.
Yeah, I'll make one.
Already made. I'll show you the one we came up with.
Oh, Bruce made a banner?
No, Bruce wants us.
You did.
Okay. All right. So, guys, I'm going to go work some success, create some logos, some banners, some videos. I want to thank Bruce, Fran Richardson, as always, Cedric, Chris Peters. It was a lot of fun. Definitely just keep making small incremental goals to your success. Whatever it is, whatever your definition is, keep trying. Even when you can't see the finish line, keep walking towards it, and eventually you'll cross it. If you didn't notice, I'm trying to be a motivational speaker full time.
That's cool.
So, all right, guys, we will see you next week on the Power Hour. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.